Hello, folks, and welcome to our channel. So, the next group healing is the 14th and 15th of October 2025. And this one, we are going to be looking at all the times we have been bullied, abused, projected at, accused, um, mocked, trashed, judged, all of it by others and by ourselves. Throughout your life as a human, sadly, in the world we live now and have been living in, we are full of people, and we are guilty of this as well, okay, that will misjudge you, bully you, take the mickey out of you, abuse you, hurt you, betray you, steal off you, manipulate you. And all through our life, it can be really easy to keep going under, to keep not even surrendering. I'd say giving up. And there's no judgment in this because we can all have a moment of this. And that's no good. We're not come here for that. As we go on this evolution, we're going to have to understand the bigger picture of what is actually happening on this planet in relation to how humans treat other humans. And one of the things on this spiritual evolution that we're going through is understanding that when somebody bullies you, projects their stuff at you, yes, sometimes you've said something and it's pissed somebody off. And if that's the case, you should acknowledge that and you should be held accountable. But sometimes you may just not get something and somebody goes at you, or you could just be sat there minding your own business and woof. Or you could just say to someone, how are you doing today? And woof. Do you know what I mean? This group healing is about clearing that. It's about starting the journey of releasing it. But also, as well, the times that we have or you have said, I'm not good enough. I'm too this, I'm too ugly, too fat, too thin, too shy, too loud, too brash, too needy, too sexual, too greedy, too whatever. Or you've fallen out with someone, and rather than nurture yourself afterwards, you've gone at yourself all day and possibly for months, years, and lifetimes afterwards. I often say this to the one-on-one clients that as humans, have you noticed that when something happens to us or is said or done to us, rather than go to a safe space and nurture, and that could be taking yourself off to a coffee shop or going to a gym and looking after, or going home or cocooning or whatever, reading a good book and self-nurturing, we can tend to carry on that story. So somebody may cheat on you, break your heart. And rather than you actually understanding how to nurture yourself through it, you then berate yourself. Somebody could bully you at work or pick on you or neglect, whatever. And rather than, think there's a soul contract here to learn from, that'd be a great step to be as well, to understand that. There's something here I need to learn, clear, understand, release. We don't. You've been cheated on because you're not good enough. Everyone leaves you. And you just drive it on. This group healing is about getting us to a place where we can be so much better than that going forward to release it. Because, if I said to you, you're walking through life and you're covered in sticky notes, by the way, are these little things here. I'll show you. Yeah, those things, yeah. So you're walking through life with these sticky notes all over you. And they say not good enough, too fat, too thin, ugly. She's too loud, he's too this, he's too that. And it's also what you said. Your whole being, your whole energy field carries that. It's time to release it. It's time to let it go. Um, because it's a burden that needs to be let go of so that you can be the best version of you. Because what we do then is when we go on the next date or when we go for the job interview or when we go to buy the house, rent the house, um, go to a friend's club, I don't know, whatever you do next, you take it with you, even without realizing it. You know, you don't stand up tall and own the room and own your life. And that's why many people are not owning their lives right now, because they've chosen to believe something that is quite dense. It could even be childhood projection as well, where you've had parents, not projection, where you've had parents that say, little girls should be sweet and kind and little boys should never cry, or, a woman's place is at home, or whatever it is you've been programmed with. I mean, we can keep taking this layer by layer. What has the system programmed you with? What has school programmed you with? What have all your friends programmed you with? So this is about really clearing that energy so that you can then go forward with more maturity. So when something like that does come in, you're able to understand it. You're able to transmute it. There's a deck I've got here. I haven't used this for ages. Dragon Oracle cards by Diana Cooper, because we're going to be working with the dragons as well during this group healing. So let's pull 3 cards for the next group healing, which is 14th and 15th of October. Should we? Sunshine Yellow Dragon helps you to help animals, serve animals, heal, respect, and understand them. We'll come back to that in a minute. White Gold Dragon from Lyra connects you to the highest Christ light. Develop your causal chakra. Bathe in multidimensional Christ light at the bottom. Next card is Green Gold Dragon from Sirius. Brings universal knowledge to your spiritual pathway. Learn about spiritual technology. Be a transmitter of sacred knowledge. And one more card. Omega Dragon. Harness the divine feminine power of creation. Intention, hold your vision. Birth the higher consciousness. So, what do these cards mean in relation to the group healing? What if people that are cruel to animals or cruel to people that are vulnerable to them or vulnerable, in a vulnerable state, be it a child, be it somebody that's ill, be it somebody that's elderly, be it somebody that's in pain or just feeling vulnerable, and they get bullied? What if the person that's bullying them has had a lifetime of projection sent to them, and then they send it off, and then they send it off, and then they send it off? Have we lost our connect? Well, we have lost our connection to Mother Gaia, Mother Earth. We've lost our grounding. Ooh. It can be easier to believe what other people say about us when we have lost our purpose, when we have lost our sense of self, when we know full well, on some level, they may be right. Because in that moment, we know that we're not looking after ourselves, that we're not respecting ourselves. The green gold dragon from Sirius brings universal knowledge to your spiritual pathway. Learn about spiritual technology. Be a transmitter of sacred knowledge. If you think about a cup can only take so much. So if all you're storing is gossip, drama, he said, she said, all the times that somebody's done you a misservice or whatever, you're going to struggle to understand sacred knowledge. This is interesting. Many women in particular are saying at the minute they are struggling to learn anything new. They're saying it's down to hormones. That could be a factor. But what I'm also being told is it's because women are taking in too much other information about the waist, about how good they are, the plumping of the lips, the showing up the grey hair, the stretch marks, all of it, the gossip, what people are doing in the street in the family. And when it comes to actually, being able to absorb a good book or some wisdom or even an upgrade, excuse me, or even an upgrade, they're struggling with it. They can't do it. An upgrade needs space. Enlightenment needs space. If your vessel is full of junk, old stories, traumas, gossip, stuff on the telly that you don't need to understand, you're not going to be able to absorb the new energy coming in. I've shared this story before that when I did my shamanic healing training, afterwards I started to forget certain things and I got really anxious over it. There were certain things in my life that I could really remember, facts, dates, times, and everything, and I started to really struggle. And sometimes I'd even struggle about things that I used to know in my old job. Somebody had come to me about teeth, for example, that I used to be a dental nurse, and I won't have a clue what they were on about. Or they'd ask me about, should I have this type of a fill-in? And I actually went to the shaman and said, I'm really worried since I've qualified, I've started to forget a lot of things. And she said, well, that's a good thing, isn't it? I was like, oh, what is it? And she said, yeah, because your guides are clearing the decks. They know you don't need to know about amalgam fillings or composite fillings. They know you don't need to know the latest intel. They know you don't need to learn the family gossip. You don't need to hold any of that shit anymore. What you do need to hold is wisdom that needs to come in. So they're clearing you out so that you can hold this other stuff, the more enriching stuff. Sorry about the throat. At the time of filming, because Gary's going through his 21 days, he's on his throat chakra because we live and we're very closely connected. It's affecting both our chakras at the same time. I'm actually quite enjoying it, to be honest, the fact that I'm getting a little bit of it too. So that's why there's a little bit of that going on. Omega Dragon, harness the divine feminine power of creation. Intention, hold your vision. Birth the higher consciousness. How can you birth higher consciousness when you're still holding on to the old traumas? So this group healing is, like all of the group healings, they're important. Every healing we have is important. But this is about that stuff that wounds us, that breaks our heart, breaks our mind, body, and soul, that can break your lifetime, fuck your lifetime up in some cases, because you get to a point in some cases you won't go forward because you refuse to go on another date, you refuse to go for another job, you refuse to set a business up, all because of things that have been said and done in the past, either by others or yourself. So if you would like to be on this group healing, then the link is below in the description box. And if I remember to put this video live when it's not the early hours of the morning, if it goes up at 1 o'clock in the morning, I cannot obviously stay up till 1 o'clock in the morning to do a pinned comment. Forget the pinned comment. At some point, I will put it in the pinned comment. But before we get to that, go to the description box beneath this video, scroll down a bit, and it will say next group healing. Yes? For more information, watch this video. It'll be a link, it'll be this video. And to take part, click on this link. It will be £22 for 2 days distance channeled healing. And please, can I just say, there are no links, no courses, no Zooms, no anything like that. You go about your day as normal. Yes, you go about your day as normal. Doing what you need to do, resting, being accountable, being present, and I channel the healing to you throughout the day. I'm a Reiki master and shamanic practitioner. And the great thing about these group healings is that, unlike when you can go to group meditations, it only needs one person to disturb it. Do you know what I mean? One person to have really off energy or to be, I don't know, fall asleep and snore the whole way through, and it disturbs the whole thing for the whole whatever. Group healings out like that. You've not got to deal with who's sat next to you and what they're releasing and what they're not releasing and what they're carrying. It's a great way to get a group healing without having to deal with what's, do you know what I mean? Even though it is a group healing, you will get what you need. It'll be individual for you, if that makes sense. Um, if you want to put somebody else on it, I always say tread carefully with that, because when we go into the energy of wanting to heal somebody else, we have to ask ourselves why. Because what we can find is when we're going off trying to heal other people, it's actually us that needs it as well. Always ask permission. If you don't ask permission, just sneak somebody on, they won't get it. Okay, they won't get it because that's how I work. If somebody's not giving permission for healing, they don't get it because that's abuse. Um, over 18 years of age and not pregnant. It can't harm pregnancy at all, but the world that we live in, if anything was to happen to a pregnant woman during healing, it's easier to go after the healer or the holistic person than it is to look at other factors. So, yes, the website has all the bump on it instructions of what to expect, etc., things that you can do to get the most out of it. And yes, get your name down. Let's do this. It's £22, 14th and the 15th of October 2025. I'm getting my dates mixed up. Awful. And yes, thank you for watching. Please do like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.